I believe that people don't know what true terror is if they haven't experienced sleep paralysis. I have had 2 sleep paralysis incidents. One was at a time when I was very young, and the second was when I was 21 years old. My sister and I used to share a room. As usual, when we went to sleep, my sister preferred sleeping on the mattress instead of the bed. I had the bed to myself. I dozed off while using my phone. I remember suddenly waking up. I looked around, it seemed darker than usual. I tried moving, but I couldn't. Suddenly, I could see a little moonlight through the curtains. It was forming a weird shadow on the ceiling. The shadow started to grow. I looked at my sister, she was fast asleep. I looked back at the ceiling, the shadow somehow multiplied. They started to take over the whole room. It felt like the whole room was filling up with ghosts. The TV kept on turning on and off. The chair in the corner of the room started moving as if somebody was slowly dragging it. All the objects in the room somehow now had a face. For a moment, everything stopped. All the shadows gathered around the bed. They started pulling my feet and my arms. I looked at the clock on the wall. It was 3:05 a.m. My heart started pounding really fast. The whole room was shaking. It felt like an earthquake. It was so intense that it felt like the lamps, television set, and the ceiling fan would fall off. I didn't understand what was happening when suddenly the door creaked open. And everything stopped moving. I was so scared and wanted to run away, but I was still struggling to move. It was like my arms and legs were nailed to the bed. I couldn't even move my face, just my eyes. I looked at my sister again and wondered how she was so unaware of this. The door further opened and I saw a very tall man's shadow. The shadow started moving towards me. I tried screaming. My mouth opened but no voice came out. I wanted to ask my sister for help. The shadow came very close to my face and stayed there for a while. I was panicking and the shadow man or demon just kept on staring at me. My heart was about to explode. Then he sat on my chest. I felt so much weight on me. It was hard for me to breathe. I tried calming myself, tried telling myself that it was just a nightmare, but it was so real. I was sure I was going to die. My whole body was sweating. I was almost crushed to the point that I was choking when suddenly, the shadows around the bed disappeared and the shadow man left. I could move again. I wasn't sure of what I experienced. I was still trying to figure out what it was when I looked at the clock and the time was 3:10 a.m. now. That is how I knew it was real. Ever since, I have always been scared of sleeping at night, and no matter what I do, I always automatically wake up at 3:05, which scares me shitless every time thinking it will happen again.